Hello my people, I bring another sweet gist to you as it dey hot. I don't even know whether to laugh or to cry about this story because man, this story blew my mind. Okay, here we go. My friend and I landed Nigeria from Binta's wedding. She was our colleague at work in Paris and she was getting married to a northern prince and we're all going to be visiting the ancient city of Kaduna. We knew it was luxury because Binta sent a driver to go and pick us with a very beautiful car from the airport and we drove to the palace. The driver that came to pick us from the airport put our bags in the boot. Brenda and I sat comfortably at the back of the back seat. The sun was high, but the driver was blazing AC on full blast. Ruka was already dozing. I nudged her, don't sleep, oh, we're in a foreign land, open your eyes before they carry us to where we don't know. She jolted up, we laughed. I noticed the driver was looking at us in the mirror. We should be there in 5 minutes, he said. The wedding was on Thursday and today was just Saturday. We wanted to have a feel of the northern vibe, so we had all our days planned out for premium enjoyment. I was born in this town long time ago. We have been in France for 5 years. I no longer have family here, but Kaduna is a city that felt like home always. We arrived at the palace and Ruka went to the booth with the driver to pick our bags and she screamed, "Ah!" I was like, what happened? I quickly went to check on her. That's when I saw why she was shouting. In live color, guess who the driver was? Mudashiru, the travel agent. Muda! I shouted, easy line, Muda. Ruka was already clapping her hands together. Me, I was in shock. Wait. Muda! Ah, is that you? We have met again. Muda lowered his head in shame. Hold on, before I give you this full gist, before I continue, go and subscribe fast. I will wait for you. But let me be singing this song for Muda. Pit is for holy pits, and trouble is for those who like trouble. I beg, oh. Are you back? Welcome. Go and grab your popcorn and find a comfortable chair because this story, like I said, will blow your mind. I used to work in a restaurant in VI. We watched the wealthy come in and dine and we waited their tables. They were white expatriates and they would come and enjoy themselves. They would order African food, barely even touch it, and listen to high life music from our band while chatting and smiling among themselves. I love waiting their tables, not because of the tips, so yes, they would tip in dollars, but because they were very nice and respectful to me compared to Nigerian millionaires and billionaires. Out of all the girls who served in my restaurant, I was the only one who had a university degree, but because of the situation of the country, I couldn't find a job and I had responsibilities, so being a waiter was what I would call my temporary job. Well, I had been here for about 2 years and still no breakthrough. My boss in the restaurant called me into his office after I had day's work and told me that I had been recommended by many of his customers, so he was going to promote me to manage the restaurant. Immediately, I told him no. Why, you may ask? I will tell you why. My salary is just 30,000 naira and I live close to Bega on the mainland. My take-home pay could not even take me home. As a manager, my salary will increase to 50,000 naira. But as a waiter, my tips could be almost 10,000 naira in a day. So you see, it will be silly of me to take manager's role and no longer wait tables. My twin younger brothers were in school and I was the one responsible for them. Our house rent, our feeding. So as much as the promotion was great, it meant nothing to me. Other waiters would have jumped at it, so they could be bossing us up and down, but I declined. My boss was surprised. He really liked me, but I was all about how to feed my family and raise funds, the hustling life. My favorite guest at this restaurant was Pierre. Pierre was a manager at Nobel and he spoke little English, but he loved Nigerian cuisine. So when he comes with his family, he will insist that I wait their table, even if it's not my turn. Even if I have other guests, he will wait for me. He will ask me, "KK, which soup is fresh today?" And I'll say, "Pierre, it's a yellow soup noir, ça vient d'être fait." And he will say, "KK, my son wants coconut rice." And I'll answer, "Non, monsieur, le riz d'aujourd'hui n'est pas bon, essayez lignon." In SSC, I had an A in French because we had the best teacher. So I practiced my French with him and he was always impressed. He tipped me extra and always in euros. You see, I cannot become manager. Ruka was my neighbor at home and after high school, she also tried to find a job. and she resorted to becoming a lesson teacher. But typical of parents in our area, they never used to pay her because they were being owed salary, or some of them even lost their job. She was a loyal friend to me, and I kept sharing my tips with her, and finally I told her to come and join me at work. I begged my boss, who was running the restaurant, and Ruka became a cook. Her salary was even 40,000, but I was the one paying her transport to and from work, and she always saved her salary, and she was grateful to me. She was a good friend. I knew I couldn't last in the restaurant. I did not like to cook, and I was not planning to own my own business, even though I knew in and out of restaurant business. What I really wanted was to travel out of the country. Yes, I wanted to Japan. There was no future for me here. Pierre and his colleagues would tip me 10 euros and on very good days 50 euros, and when I changed them, I was like a millionaire. So why do I keep collecting peanuts from these guys when I can travel to their land and earn just like them? Don't mind me, I love to dream big, but this was my plan, to save up for the journey and take my leave. The other waiters became so toxic. I was tired of working in this place. I never took any time off because I wanted to keep on earning and save. I was always knackered. I knew I cannot continue like this. My parents were farmers and they were dependent on me as well, so I could not let them down. They sacrificed to send me to school, to the university. It was my turn to take care of them. I started to gather information from Pierre, from one of my guests called Brandon, Samantha, about their countries and how immigrants are adapting. Samantha was an American, and she told me to go on a visit first and observe. I said, this woman, if I get American visa today, there's nothing like observe and visit. If I didn't go, I don't go with that. No, I wanted to be legal and work and earn. I really wanted to learn how to go. And I chose France eventually, because they had so many programs that were kind to foreigners and pathways for residency. So I made that my choice and I began to save more and more. I got my passport, I built my saving. Pierre's wife even chose a very nice school for me in Grenoble, and a French family who were willing to house me throughout my school year. Imagine, this was what I really wanted. It was what I prayed for. I wanted to tell Ruka, but I didn't trust anyone. I didn't even trust my parents. Till that day, that day was like Christmas to me. The day I got my email, the day I flipped the pages of my passport and saw my picture engraved on a visa. It was like visa to heaven. I would wake up in the night, bring out my passport from under my mattress, flip the pages, just to convince myself that it was true. I was going to start another life. Endless hours in downfall would stop. Standing for almost 12 hours on my feet. It was going to end. I would hug myself and sleep peacefully. My brothers were almost done with their polytechnic, but I would still be responsible for them. So I finally told Ruka when I received my ticket in my email. She broke down in tears. I knew why. She had no one. I was the only one motivating her. She lived with her aunt, but the aunt was less concerned about her future. Ruka cried. I also shed a few tears, but my own was tears of joy. Oh, KK, if you go, what will happen to me? I cannot work 40,000 and survive. Life will not have meaning. You have been my help and mentor. How will I cope? She said. We were both 23, but Ruka was even a few months older than me. We continued to go to work. Ruka was no longer eager. She would cry and she would cry, and I didn't know what to do. This was my future. I had to face it. The day I resigned came as a shock for everyone, even my boss. Though he said he knew it was a matter of time for me to leave, he didn't want me to go. I must go, sir. I have to face my life. He said the truth though, he will never be able to replace me. Ruka, I had told her over a month. But even when I told them at work, she fainted. This Ruka now, wow. She's so dramatic, always overreacting. We had to start pouring water on her. I said, Ruka, you need to calm down. I'm just going to France, I'm not going to heaven. Everyone was saying their goodbye, I miss you, whether fake or real, I didn't care. I was leaving. We closed early because of Ruka's drama, and she came to my room to sleep when we got home. As she slept, the idea came to me. Ruka could become a waiter and could also join me in France. She has been a true friend and never told anyone of my plans. The next morning, as Ruka went to work, I called our supervisor and I told my supervisor, please change Ruka's position to that of a waiter. I know she will replace me well. He was happy to hear that I've taught Ruka everything about being a waiter, how to be kind and polite to guests. The truth is, I didn't even teach her anything. Ruka was nice and on her own naturally. As soon as I left the country, Ruka assumed her new role. It's true that Ruka wasn't a go-getter like I was. She was timid and very laid back, but she was trying her best, and very soon the guests warmed up to her. I was engulfed with my studies, but over the weekend we would gist for hours. All I needed was to confirm that she was saving up for her trip. The day she got her passport, we were so happy we cried. But this time, visa rules had changed and was no longer as it was for me. Ruka needed to get an agent, a travel agent to be able to process her visa. And this was how someone in her church introduced her to Muda. Yes, Muda the driver. Just wait, I'll tell you where this is going. I knew Muda was a travel agent, but me, I completed all my stuff by myself. I filled my forms myself, so I never needed anyone's help. Muda claimed to be an agent, and he claimed to have assisted a number of people with their visas. He kept on naming people that we know that he helped them get their visas. He became close to Ruka, and after a month of back and forth, they were able to get other travel documents that she would need to get her visa. This Muda finally revealed to us that he's not really knowledgeable about French study visa, so he will refer us to his friend Big T, who lived in Agege. To be honest, I was tired of the back and forth, and I told Ruka to settle down and complete the forms herself. I completed mine myself. She could even use the library if she needed to browse the internet, but Ruka said she couldn't. She was scared of making mistakes. She had saved money already. She didn't want the money to go down the drain. She has even started spending from it. She didn't want anything to waste. So I got busy with school, and I and Ruka will only chat over the phone. Let me tell you what Ruka did. This is where the story starts. I don't know how it happened though, but Muda fell in love with Ruka, and Ruka fell in love with Muda. I don't even know. You shout ah. You shout ah. Okay now. Muda even finally proposed to Ruka. According to Ruka, she knew that she wasn't ready to marry Muda, but she felt if she played nice and pretended she was in love with him, he would process her documents faster. I don't know, say Ruka self don't fall for the guy. Ruka had paid about 300,000 naira as deposit to Muda, who said he would transfer to Big T as deposit for his consultation. Ruka has never seen or spoken to Big T, neither did I even know who Big T was, but Muda kept assuring her that her documents were with Big T and in no time they would apply for the visa, and then Ruka would balance him the amount of 200,000. Muda even added that his service for bringing Big T into the picture was 50,000 naira, but since they were getting married, he overlooked that 50k. Ruka was so grateful, and so their love affair blossomed. Ruka would go and cook for Muda for free over the weekend or her off days, and she would entertain his friends and his brothers with her money. She was a true wife material. She would wash and clean Muda's shoes and clothes on her off days. See, as I'm narrating this story, the thing they pepper me again, but I just say make her calm down. Ruka not tell me this one because the knock from above she will receive, it will clear her brain and reset herself. Weeks turned into months, no sign of visa. When I call Ruka, she will be telling me, Big T is on it, Big T is on it. I was worried though, it didn't seem right. I was working during my breaks at the radio station, and I was working the graveyard shifts. So there was no time for me to talk to Ruka and monitor her properly. But one day, enough was enough. I called Ruka and I told her, give the phone to Muda. Muda was angry when he spoke to me, saying they were doing their best, I need to calm down. Anyway, eventually, Muda told Ruka that he was ready to see her parents, so he wants to pay bride price. He wanted to marry her before she left, and then his own plan was that he would tidy up things here in Nigeria and join her. That was when Ruka finally told me that she was getting married. Me, I was shocked, because Ruka has never mentioned relationship. We have always said that we needed to hustle and get everything right just because of our children, so we will marry right. I was eager to know who the lucky groom was. Maybe it was all those single shell guys in our restaurant. That's good now. Only for Ruka to mention to me, Muda is her fiance. Hey, I fainted. It was as if I should use night bus and go back to Nigeria and do kung fu on Ruka's brain. Ruka, did I hear you well? Which Muda is that? She smiled and said yes. So they are now thinking of taking it to the next level. I said, okay, what about the relocation? She assured me that everything was still going. They are still waiting for Big T. I made sure I gave her a piece of my mind. I tried to talk sense into her. What does Big T even mean? What kind of a babe are you? You have to be bold and strong. This is your future. You want to enter a marriage where you'll be using your tiny salary to feed this man. In no case, she was already crying. Ruka is an orphan and no one to speak for her. You think you are in love now. When you marry, that's when you know the true color of Muda. Ruka, you have to be smart and sharp. Now clean those tears. Let me tell you what to do. Guys, we've come to the end of part 1. I will give you the gist in part 2. I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you for listening so far. Please subscribe if you haven't, and then click on the notification bell and like and share. So see you all soon. Take care. Goodbye.